Hello everyone. I'm going to say a couple of names. See if you can find the link. Hunter S. Thompson, Aldous Huxley, Snoop Dogg. Well, if you said that they took substances to make their art, then you're right. Well done, I suppose. But altering your mental state for the sake of art isn't a new thing, and neither is altering it with something definitively dangerous. So it's time to get acquainted with a substance that many ancient Chinese poets and artists took. Cold food powder. But perhaps its other name is more revealing. 5 minerals powder. Now, what these minerals actually were is up to debate. Han sources early in the life of the drug said that there were 5 clays in it, turquoise, red, yellow, black and white, that could improve the body. Later sources then said that these were respectively chalcanthite, cinnabar, realgar, arsenalite, and magnetite. Now let's replay what I just said. Arsenalite. So that's like arsenic, which is less than good for you. So let's say that with all this knowledge, you still want a hit of the good stuff. How you are actually meant to consume it has been kind of lost to history. You'd probably have it with alcohol or food, perhaps 3 times a day. But one guy suggested that you should dunk your hands and feet in cold water after the 3rd time, since it makes your body temperature higher than your mind. But don't have too much mind. Even back then, doctors advised that too much puff powder could kill you. So anyway, what does it actually do? Well, it supposedly invigorated the body and illuminated the mind. And when I say invigorated the body, I mean that it burnt you up inside. So much so that you had to literally walk it off. And when I say illuminated the mind, I mean that it made you go on a really bad trip. But then they also said that it made you immortal. And I ask, where are those junkies now? Where are all those junkies? So the real trailblazer here was a scholar philosopher lad called He Yan, who took some of the puff powder in the 3rd century. He reread a lot of old Taoist texts and, like every good philosopher, reinterpreted them using the power of drugs. Now, I don't know what he said, but it must have been groovy enough to make others join in. This included the 7 sages of the bamboo grove, who took drugs and rocked and rolled and drank in nature and composed poetry and made songs and walked around naked. Wait, they walked around like nudists because of the drugs, in that they saw it as the best way to get that body temperature down. Whilst the upside was that they made you go crazy, the downside was that they made you go crazy. Example time. In 409, Emperor Dao Wu of the Northern Wei took some of that sweet chili willy powder and proceeded to basically kill all of his government officials and was only stopped when someone decided to stab him, his son. So yeah, part and parcel and all that. Another not so fun aspect of the drug was that you could develop ulcers if you took it. It also might have made your tongue shrink, but there's not much I can say on that. But if we ever walk around China now, CCP permitting, we're not going to see anyone inhaling or eating or sniffing rock powders. I think they've switched to another drug. So it makes you ask, why did people stop taking it? Well, first off, those deaths didn't reflect well on it, and by the 10th century-ish, doctors were poo-pooing it. Also, when the drug was at its height of popularity, it was the 3 Kingdoms period, as in everything was on fire and everyone was dying. So, some curmudgeons linked the depravity of the drug to the era's many wars and deaths. I can't imagine anything else is to blame. So, the next time you're having a line or two, think back to the days of a China gone by, where people were consuming a drug made out of basically arsenic. And then probably get snorting. Well then,